Today, it is plumbing day on the food truck, on the video series that we have, how to build your food truck. We're using this PEX plumbing, and I like this stuff because it's easy to cut, easy to connect, and easy to use. So with that, let me show you guys exactly how we're doing it on today's video, plumbing, how to build your food truck. Hey, I'm Frank Baltieres, and I started a video series called How to Build Your Food Truck, and I wanted to make easy, simple videos for you to follow if you want to add to your food truck, build your own food truck on a step-by-step basis. We took an empty 7x16 trailer and we duplicated exactly how my food truck looks, which is Rolling Burritos food truck. And it's about a year ago this all started because I got those Facebook memories that come up and it said, hey, about a year ago, you're doing this. And I was getting ready to get licensed by DuPage County Health Department, and then my approval from my fire department for the fire suppression system. And when I built it, I did not see those simple, easy to understand videos on how to build this yourself, because I kind of just started doing it as a project, and then it started as something really cool. After you learn how to do it, it becomes simpler and simpler. So with that, I was like, let me make these videos on easy to understand step-by-step videos. And because of the comments, I started a playlist. What was it, yesterday or the day before? They commented, hey, you should do a playlist so all the videos could be in order. So we did that. Thank you for the comments. That's the best way to reach me, is to reach me on the comments on the YouTube videos. So with that, let's get started on the plumbing. I want to make it super easy to understand because I did not find a simple plumbing video for a food truck on how to do it yourself. So let's get rocking and rolling. So what's really cool about these hand sinks, they come right off the wall. And with that, this one, and I think all of them usually, if not, try to buy it with the faucet included, the little gooseneck faucet. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take off these washers right here on both sides. Boom, boom, boom. And then these have these rubber washers on them as well. And what we're gonna do is this hand sink has the two holes right there. Stick this right in. And on the opposite side, there's the front, there's the back. We're gonna put the rubber grommet, and then we're gonna put the washers that came included. And then we're gonna tighten it up using some channel locks right here. And then this is gonna hold our faucet in place. And then the fun part starts on what to use. I believe that you can use PEX just about on any project. PEX plumbing is a type of water tubing, right? Like in your house you would have copper tubing, and I think some states permit PEX. Down in the south out here in Chicago, or in the Chicago suburbs that I'm in, we have to use copper for our homes, and that's what the plumbers use. Like when I do construction projects, I do a lot of electrical construction projects, there's always copper. They don't let us use PEX. But for the food trucks, since it's always moving, we get to use PEX. And the proof of concept is there. So a year ago, I built my food truck and it's still running and it hasn't fallen apart. So all the things that I've done, I guess, are the proof of concept that they actually work. My plumbing works, my heat works, my hood still works, electrical still works. But there it is. That's how we hook this part up, and let's go on to the next. We just take our channel locks right here and just tighten it up. There it is right there. And on here, I found a really handy dandy fitting that fits really nice right here. Let me plug it in into this next part of the video so you guys can see exactly what it is. We are going to be using this flexible tube cutter along with this PEX right here. Let's see if it has the actual name. Apollo PEX 1/2 inch. There's a 5-foot length right there. They had 10-foot lengths as well, but I bought the 5-footers because I'm gonna have to cut them into little pieces anyways. So we're gonna connect the plumbing right now. So along with the tube cutter that I just showed you with the PEX piping, we're gonna be using this PEX combo crimp tool right there. You might have to purchase this. I do not use PEX regularly, so this is a new purchase for me. We also have to buy fittings, These are PEX fittings. These are T's. And this right here is the really cool one, which is this is actually this right here. This is gonna be one of your best friends when it comes to coming out of the faucets. I'm gonna show you how do we put this in connection with the water. And what else do we got here? My little box of goodies. We got elbows for the PEX, and I think that's all you need. Elbows, T's, and 4 of these right here. I think 4 or 5 of these 90-degree PEX angles is what we need. So let me show you how we put them all together. And some channel locks. This right here is a faucet that goes with the hand sink that's right there, which this one particularly is a Regency NSF rated. I am gonna link another one that's the exact same dimensions. It's just a different brand, no different. I would have bought it as well, but I already bought this one, so we're gonna use this one. This is gonna go right there, and this is a 90 degrees. Whoop, let me flip that down. This is actually gonna get flipped down, and then these nuts and washers are gonna go right in between there. Let's see if we can do this and video it at the same time. So that is one of the best fittings, so it can fit straight down right there, and then we connect the PEX right to that end right there. And just so we know how long of a PEX pipe to cut, we're gonna go to the other food truck just to see how far down that PEX line goes. That way we're gonna pre-cut the one that goes from here all the way down, and that way we just be able to make a small cut down there. And it all makes sense right now. But let me go see where the food truck is on mine and how far down it goes. All right, there you go. You see firsthand how we're gonna install it there. So we're gonna measure how much this PEX pipe measures right here where we connect the elbow. So we kind of get an idea of how much to cut. So it's around 18 inches. It's not have to be exact, but at least it gives us a good idea. So we cut 2 pieces, a red and a blue, at 18 inches, and then we're gonna be able to elbow and do all that fun stuff that goes right there. I had to learn how to do PEX installation, so let's go figure it out. Oh yeah, and you need these clamps right there for this project. Let me tell you guys what the name of them. Here we go. They're called 1/2-inch copper crimp rings, NSF rated as well, and that's how they get the name crimp tool, crimp ring, crimp tool, crimp ring. So this is what attaches the PEX pipe right there to everything that we're going to use. So we got the T's, we got the crimp rings, we got the 90s, and we have the elbows. That is what you're gonna need to do the plumbing. And when I first did the first food truck, I kind of learned this on my own, trial and error. So hopefully this video makes it super easy for you all. Tube cutter, crimp tool, crimp rings, elbows, T's, and 90s. So what we're gonna do here in the next step is, this is a tube cutter that was right in there. It just goes up and down like that. And we're gonna take the tape measure right here. Let's see if I can grab it with one hand, okay? And then we're gonna measure, come on, 18 inches. Remember, it was roughly, doesn't have to be exact, roughly 18 inches. And then we're gonna take that right there. It was unsuccessful how I was doing it, so I had to set it on my tripod here. So, all right, so we're back. So we take the blue PEX 1/2 inch that we have. We're gonna measure 18 inches. Remember, we said it was roughly 18 inches. And then we're gonna take the pipe cutter, the tube cutter. That's it right there. Literally, that is all. We're gonna do the same thing with the red one. Take the red, obviously for the hot. Hopefully, that's what you use it for. It's the hot, but at the end, these are just indicator colors, just like your wire, because at the end, it doesn't really matter. PEX is PEX. It's just a different color. It's just an indicator. If you wanted to get crazy and put red with blue and blue with red, you're more than welcome to, but red is red. So we go like this, and it snaps right on. So now, we have our 2 18-inch pieces of PEX that we're gonna hook up to the hand sink right in there using this 90. We connect it right there, just like that. You guys can see it slides right in. Let's do it one more time. So we have the empty PEX right there, as you guys, right there. We have the 90, that is like a shark bite 90, or this one particularly is an Apollo. Here's the one, it's a shark bite 90. And then the other brand's called Apollo. I don't think it really matters, it's all the same. It's for PEX piping. And then this has little ribs right in there. and then it goes right in the 1/2" PEX. Slides right in. And then what we do next is we open up the copper ring bag that I showed you guys earlier, right there. And then we slide it right in. And then, let me show you guys what we do next. These are gonna be the easy PEX ones to do, because once you get PEX installed and it goes around in the little corners, like where I showed you my first food truck, maybe I figured out a different way. I don't know yet, we're about to figure it out. But this is one of the easiest ones that we might have in the whole project. So we take the PEX and we align it, so you guys can see right there, where the ribs go in with the copper ring. And then all we do is we just snap it right in. And then this will have a nice watertight connection. And that's basically all you connect. That's how you connect this cool stuff right here. In food trucks, well, when it comes to my food truck, DuPage County, we don't have to use copper piping, so you can use this PEX. So I don't know where you live. Make sure that you figure that out and ask if they're all right with PEX plumbing for the water. And if so, this is what you use. Because I don't think I've seen a copper, that's usually for homes, is copper piping. But that's what we do, and we're gonna do the same thing with the blue. So let's keep moving along. All right, so now that we did the red one, which is the red PEX, now we're gonna take the blue one and we're gonna connect that same fitting right in there with the ribs. Let's get this one, that way it can clip in there, real nice. There it is right there. And then we're gonna put that copper crimp on the other side and bring it right up. And then we're gonna use a crimp tool right here. And hopefully we get a good visual. There it is right there. And we just press it together right there. Boom, locks into place. We open it up. We make sure we have a tight connection on there. And then what we're gonna use next is we have the sealing tape that we like to use. They have the gray one, they also have white one. And we're gonna put that right around the threads, right in here. And then we're gonna connect this right there. So I'm gonna pause the video so you guys can do it. So we're gonna put thread right on the threads, the thread tape, and then we're gonna connect the other part to it. All right, so now that we have the hand sink, boom, hooked up with the hot and the cold PEX plumbing on the back, we're gonna slide it right into its place where it goes on the lip. And then we're gonna see down here, if you guys can see, let's take the phone with me. Right there, this right here is gonna get the elbows that get connected right to it, and then that is gonna go all the way around that way. So let's get rocking and rolling with the elbows and the T's, and we're gonna show you guys how to do it. So in your food truck, what I couldn't understand in the beginning when I built mine is how the heck do you get water pressure in here so you could feed the faucets, feed the water heater. And that's when I had to Google and search, and I found this water pump right here that we're gonna be using. It's a 120 volt water pump made by C-Flow. And this is what I have been using, and it has not given me any issues. And we're gonna install that right here. Let me show you guys. Let me just kind of put it. It's gonna go right there. And I was like, what does this do? So in your house, pretty much, like if you have city water, or if you live on a well, out in the rural areas, they usually have a well pump, and the city obviously brings water with pressure, and that's how you get pressure in your house. But here in the food truck, you have to make your own pressure, and that's where it comes out of here, out of the water tank. So here's your fresh water tank, and what we're gonna do is come out of here, come up to the water pump, and then from the water pump, that cold water is going to get fed right into here where it says in water input right here. So water input right here is where the water is going to come from the water pump, and then it does its thing right inside the water heater, and then it's going to come out right there, and then that's how you get hot water. It's going to feed like this red tube, and as well as your 3-compartment sink. That's the concept that we have beside on using this water pump right here. And like I said, this, I'm gonna link it in the description, is a C-Flow water pump, professional grade pump, and it has worked great for our food truck. So that is what we're gonna be using today. So what I did when I did the electrical is I made one of these switches switched right on top right there, and I did it for this purpose specifically, is so you can leave your water pump plugged in all the time, and whenever you want to run your water, you just flip the switch on and it turns the water pump right on. And I have seen that a lot of people have watched the electrical video on there, and if we get enough likes, maybe like 100 likes on this video, we'll make another recap of the electrical. But this one is a switch outlet to feed the water pump, and then the other one's going to be for the carbon detector that needs to be plugged in by the fire department. They require it, so that's the switch for that. So now that we attached the water pump to the food truck, we use a little bit longer screws on here. Make sure that you use a little bit longer screws. These are the ones that I use. They're about 1.5 inches. So you pre-drill a hole into the metal there, and then you put this in, and then the water pump is attached really nice. So now what we're gonna do is, we're not gonna worry about this side right now today where it connects to the tanks right down here. What we're gonna connect is from here to the water heater right here, and then from the water heater we're gonna come to the hand sink, and then we're gonna connect to the 3-compartment sink. I don't know if we'll get to that one today, but that's how we're gonna be doing it, that one. But we're gonna connect the hand sink for sure right now. So let's follow along. We're gonna connect the elbows, the T's, and right into the water heater. So this right here is our instant water heater, our propane water heater, and what we're gonna use is the same 90°. And this right here, the first side, it says water input. So that's what's gonna come in from the water pump. And then we already put the threading tape right on there. So we're just gonna spin it right on. And then we're gonna connect the PEX to it. Spin this on like that. And we're gonna tighten it with the channel locks right now. Got the channel locks right here. Give it a few whoop twists right there. Alrighty, so that's gonna be a blue PEX because, where is it at? Because it's cold water coming in from the water pump. That's gonna come in from the water pump right here, and it's gonna get fed into the water heater. So that's gonna be blue. And I'm just gonna use a big piece right here because we can cut it. You guys saw how easy it was to cut. So we're gonna just stick that right into the ribs of the fitting. And then we're gonna take the crimp tool. Crimp it right there, and then that's going to be the one that feeds your water heater right there from the water pump. And then we're going to cut it once we tee off of this one, which is the one from the hand sink. We're going to elbow right here and then come and connect right into here. So same thing on here. We're going to put the copper crimp ring on the blue one, and then we're going to put the elbow that we bought, a 1/2 inch elbow for PEX, right in there. Slide that down in there. And we're gonna take our crimp tool. Make sure that this one is pointing, the elbow is pointing towards the water heater, because once you crimp it, you can't uncrimp it, you gotta cut it. And when I first started this project, my first food truck, I didn't video any of this because I didn't know what I was doing. So I didn't feel I had the authority to be able to teach someone else. So there it is right there. That's how you connect this piece right there. And this is a little bendable too, so that's nice. Yeah, you can bend it a little bit if you want. That way it gets a nice curve right into there. Like that. And now that we've done it once, I feel a little bit more able to communicate this and help you with these short videos on how to do the plumbing, because it was so hard to understand the first time. All right, so what we're gonna do here now is connect the T. And the T is gonna go right over here on the water heater. So it's gonna go right here, and then this is gonna feed right back into here, and then that's gonna go that way. Let me try to get the camera closer for you guys. And what we're gonna do here, before my battery dies, is we're gonna connect this T right in there. And just how I showed you guys with all the other crimp rings, we're gonna cut it right there, put a crimp ring right there, crimp it with the tool, put another PEX piece from right here, and then that's gonna come right there. And man, this, like, it all makes sense once you start doing it. In the beginning, it could be a little overwhelming, be like, what the heck? But now it's gonna make sense. So we put the T right there, another piece of PEX right there, boom, and it's gonna go right there. And then on the water output, it's gonna be the same thing and just connects to the red, because all water does is goes cold here, does its magic that it does in there, and then it comes out hot. That's what the water heater does, and that's what we're gonna make it do. So it just reversed the opposite. Once it goes in, so it comes out. So with that, hopefully that helps you out with the plumbing in your food truck. Any questions, make sure that you do comment and ask it, because it is me that answers every single comment that comes in through the YouTube channel. I answer them, and I just want to make sure that I help you guys in the best way that I can, make them simple, organized videos that can help you get your business up and running and more efficiently, either if you're starting, if you're growing, or if you just want to build another food truck. This is the videos that I want to be able to share with you all. So with that, Frank Baltier's Rolling Burritos Food Truck. We'll see you on the next video.